else. We're going to be deploying Navy ships. They've already been deployed. And we are going to do far more than anybody else would ever be able to do. And it's being recognized as such. But it is a tough situation. Would you have a question for the President?
Mr. Prime Minister, if I may, sir, do you share President Trump's hostility toward the Venezuelan regime? And what is your opinion generally of his, that is to say, President Trump's suggestion that U.S. military intervention might be required if the Venezuelan government doesn't change course? Do you support that? And would you be an advocate within the EU for tougher sanctions against the Venezuelan government?
Miren, nosotros estamos...
Well, we're spearheading in the European Union a proposal to impose sanctions on Venezuela. What is happening in Venezuela is unacceptable. Venezuela traditionally was a democratic country, and at this time it's no longer a democratic country. There are political prisoners in Venezuela. There are people who are in jail only because they think differently than Mr. Maduro. And I was the first prime minister to receive Lilian Tintori, who's the wife of Leopoldo Lopez, who was jailed because Mr. Maduro didn't like him. But there were many others who were sent to jail. In Venezuela, there was a parliament, and the government has made up this other parliament, which has its meeting next to the other parliament, and it enacts legislation. They've created a commission for the truth, which is an anti-democratic tool, which only serves to judge people without respecting minimum human rights standards. Venezuela is on the road to dictatorship, unless that can be stopped. So all of those who share values such as democracy, freedom, and human rights have to do something. At this time, sanctions are important. It's important that there be an international coalition putting pressure on Maduro so that political prisoners are freed and democracy is restored, because this lack of democracy and the attack against human rights and freedoms are come in conjunction with a terrible economic situation with a 300% inflation rate, with problems supplying foods and medicines to people. So it's a really tragic situation, and I think that we in the United States and Spain have a responsibility towards Venezuela. There are a lot of Spaniards living in Venezuela, and I'm worried about them and the rest, but they certainly worry me. So I think that the international community should be forceful with regards to Venezuela.
Gracias. Buenas tardes.
Thank you. Pilar Santos from El Periódico de Catalunya. I have a question for each of you. For President Trump, with the serious political crisis in Spain because of the referendum on Sunday, what solution do you think there is? Have you given advice to President Rajoy on this matter? Do you think there should be a dialogue between the Generalitat and the government to find a solution? And now a question for Prime Minister Rajoy. It seems that what you're doing in Catalonia, the way you're managing things in Catalonia, is having an impact on the budget, and I'd also like to know whether you think that the situation with the PNV party can be resolved, or do you think that you will have to call early elections? Thank you very much.
Well, I think the people of Catalonia have been talking about this for a long time, but I bet you if you had accurate numbers and accurate polling, you'd find that they love their country, they love Spain, and they wouldn't leave. So I'm just for united Spain. I speak as the President of the United States, as somebody that has great respect for your president and also has really great respect for your country. I really think the people of Catalonia would stay with Spain. I think it would be foolish not to, because you're talking about staying with a truly great, beautiful, and very historic country.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. We will be delaying the budgets in Parliament because we think that when we submit the budgets, we will need the needed support to approve them. We're talking with different political parties, as you know, and I don't think we'll have any problems if we continue to work down this line. I don't think we'll have any problems in approving them within a reasonable time frame. But we are looking for a majority, just like we did last time around when we voted the budget. At any rate, I'm not thinking at all about calling early elections as a result of what we were saying.
Muchas gracias.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Thank you.